Hi everybody, this is Mr. Nardelli. I just wanted to go over some of the basics of Roman numerals. So Roman numerals were used back obviously in Roman times to represent numbers. You've probably seen them in movie credits and book credits where it says MCM whatever, 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 whatever. Nowadays it's still used, but sometimes it's not. I just want to go over some of the basics of it. Um, there are only, you can see, 7 different letters used. I represents 1. That's going to be the easiest one. V represents 5. X represents 10. Those are the ones that most people really understand at first. Then we have L represents 50. C represents 100. D is 500 and M is 1000. Um, Now, a way to remember them in order is a little mnemonic called I value xylophones like cows do milk. Makes absolutely no sense, but it's something that could help you to learn them in order from least to greatest. Now, you might think, okay, I just add these up. So, for example, um, if I had 70, why don't I put just 7x's? Or if I had 50, why not put 50 I's? Well, if you think about that, you have 50 of the same thing in order. You have to count them, and it can be um, tough to count. So the Romans came up with a way to write these and to use the least amount possible. So, some of the rules. Well, the main rules. When a symbol appears after a larger symbol, it's added. So, for example, V is 5, I is 1. So, I is smaller than V, so you add them. VI is 6. So, we would say the same thing if we had VII, that would be 7, VIII, 8. Now, when a symbol appears before a larger symbol, it's subtracted. So, in this case, I have IX. I is before 10, so it's 10 minus 1 or 9. Now you might think, well, what if I put IIX? No, you don't, because this next rule, a symbol can only be repeated 3 times. So you can't have 50 I's in a row to represent 50. That would be a little bit silly. So in our example here, if we had V and we did VIII, that is 8. So we cannot put one more I to make it 9. We would jump to the next level, which is 10, and put 1 before it, IX. Okay, so notice our fourth rule. Sorry, our fourth rule is the symbols V, L, and D are never subtracted, as they're not written before a greater number. So you won't see that. The only things you'll see beforehand are X, let's see, X, um, C, D, and M. Oh, excuse me, not D, but M. Okay, so let's try a little bit. So we see this big number here, or this big one, MMCL XXIII. You could start at the beginning, and you'll notice it will always start with the larger amount. So we have MM. So that's 1,000 and 1,000. That's 2,000. So 2,000. Bear with me. I'm gonna erase some of this. Plus, then we have C and L. So we see C comes before L, so it's the bigger before the smaller. So we just add 150. We'll do 100 plus 50. And then we have XXXIII. Now we look at that and we think, okay, that's in order. That's the ones that I typically know. That's 3x's, so that's 30, and that's 3i's, which is 3. So combining them, we would get 2,100, and we have to add the 50 and the 30, 83. So if that was a year, much in the future, it would be 2,183. Now let's go the opposite way. Let's give a number, 1776, go America, and let's put it into Roman numeral form. So let's start with just the thousands. We have 1,000, so that's represented by an M. Now let's look at the hundreds. 700. Well, if we look, we can't have 7 C's because that won't work, but we could do a 500 and add 200 to it. So 2 C's. Okay, now we look at the 76 part, and we might need to look at just the 70, but we have 50, so we need 2 more of that. So we'll do 50, which is D, 50, which is L, and then 2 more 10s, which is XX. Then we look at 6, and we think, well, that's going to be V plus I to give me 76. So if you take your time, you can go through it and figure this out pretty easily. Thanks. Have a great day.